So I've come to an interesting conclusion. And that's the hardest part to let go of with my attachment issues as I go through my trauma therapy is the concept that I need another person to validate my worth in order to feel loved and appreciated. So many of us seek happiness and love from somebody else instead of learning to love ourselves. And it can be a lot of work to love ourselves. And I know for me, if it wasn't for my therapist bringing up IFS, the internal family systems, and learning that I have no bad parts, I just have parts that are hurting, that need me to ask them why they're hurting, and be curious and compassionate. It has made such a big difference for me. A lot of people will say that, they are healed, or that they're letting their inner child out, or, there's a lot of things people say to excuse hurting others, to make themselves feel better. Sometimes we really need to believe it because we hurt so much and the pain is so great. It's hard, right? To be like, hey, there's parts about myself I don't really like. So how am I supposed to love myself when I don't like my parts? And then for someone to tell you, you have no bad parts, the jealousy, the anger, the hurt, the pettiness, the need to make fun of people that are different. Take cuddles at times. So I think the main point of the video, I had to stop and talk to my daughter for a second. Sorry, my van windows are open. My ADHD is going strong today. Okay. I think the point of the video is that as we go through our trauma therapy, and as much as we'd like to think the journey's over, that we've healed our inner child, that we've, overcome that challenge, sometimes we really haven't, because it's not like a one-time thing. Sometimes the inner child only begins to heal, and it takes multiple revisits and multiple discoveries, self-awareness discoveries, for the child to be fully healed. Sometimes I think we believe our inner child's healed when all we've managed to do is finally reconnect with it, right? And so that connection to that part of ourselves is so elation, it creates such an elation and exciting feeling that we really feel like we've done something amazing, and can be often confused and made it think like, we've healed when we haven't. Sorry, my dog smells gross. I think he ate garbage or something. Which means I need to go upstairs and check the bathroom. Children. Okay. So yeah. Just if you are going through trauma therapy and you've reached a point where you feel stuck, you've reached a point where you feel like you're not moving forward with your journey anymore, it's probably because there's parts of yourself that aren't being noticed that want you to notice them. Parts that are hurting. Maybe you're making fun of people for your own entertainment, and you've convinced yourself that it's not such a big deal. They don't know what I'm doing. They don't hear me being petty or rude or mean. So you feel like, you're not really doing anything bad. And you're not really, if you're just thinking it in your head. But where are those thoughts coming from? Is that person really that annoying? Is that person really a loser? All those thoughts you might be thinking, Or are you seeing something inside of them or seeing a behavior in them that kind of reminds you of parts of yourself that you're not comfortable with or that you don't like? So instead of addressing those parts of yourself that you think you want to improve or that you struggle with, accepting them as part of who you are, because the idea you've built around yourself with your ego, not ego like amazing, I mean ego like your identity, right, that you've created. Maybe that hasn't been 100% accurate lately because you're not addressing the parts that are hurting, that find it funny when other people hurt too. Because I guarantee you, if you find joy in being the cause of other people's discomfort and pain, it's because your pain is there telling you, hey, I'm here, look at me, I'm hurting, I could use some love too. Maybe instead of loving those people, you could love me. Or maybe instead of making fun of those people, you could love it. That part of you that's obviously really struggling to feel loved. It's amazing how I have to keep coming back to that in my trauma therapy, that, I'm allowed to be where I'm at right now. I'm allowed to have my emotions. I'm allowed to have my feelings. I'm allowed to love people, but I'm also allowed to love myself. Wine and dine myself, take myself out, romantic evenings. I know that sounds crazy, but one thing I'm learning as I study frequencies, vibration, all of that, right, is that you attract to you things that vibrate at your frequency. You can also attract people that vibrate lower than your frequency, obviously, but you'll really struggle to attract people that vibrate at a higher frequency or that are living at a lifestyle that you would love to live at, unless you change your vibration too. So I'm gonna spend a lot of time, I think, focusing on elevating and growing and loving myself. And things like me doing supper and getting ready for the dishes. And my ex was extremely abusive. He hurt me a lot for a long time. And I, even to a degree, let him, out of both shame and feeling like I deserved it, because I wasn't always nice to him either. And really, it was probably unfair to him as much as it was to me, because I never stuck up for myself and I never set healthy boundaries. I never told him that, no, you can't treat me like that, or my kids, or, and my kids never saw it. And yes, he made the choice to hurt me, and yes, that makes him responsible for those choices. But now that I know better, now that I know I need to love myself, now that I know I need to vibrate and love myself the way I want someone else to love me, I'm gonna do it.